Today's the day. It's finally time to install the KW coilovers. I haven't been putting this off, but I've been waiting on additional suspension components, which I'll show you in a bit. Also had to get some other things fixed on the car, so now fully ready to get this thing a little bit lower, looking nicer, riding nicer, and refreshed all around. So yeah, when I say there's a lot of suspension parts to replace on this car, there's a lot, and that's not even all of them yet. But first, I'm just gonna focus on the coilovers. Huge shout out to the longtime channel supporter and sponsor, Renline. I got a whole bunch of stuff from them, including GT3 style adjustable control arms all around on all corners. Plus they're sending a front bump steer correction kit, a rear bump steer correction kit, and some other goodies as well. Now on top of all this, I need to replace the top hats on all 4 of the new shocks as they don't come with them, and mine are old. They've probably never been replaced, and with 150,000 miles, it's time to do it. So I've got a whole bunch of parts to put together before I can install them on the car, and obviously before that, I've got to remove all of the old suspension. You guys are DIYers or mechanics, I'm doing a giveaway on the website boostedapexdesigns.com. You're going to enter to win a 3/8 Impact Milwaukee set. Includes the 3/8 ratchet, 3/8 impact driver, charger, 2 batteries, and the carrying case. You can buy anything on the website like this 996 t-shirt here. Every $5 is an entry to win. Now my products ship worldwide, but the giveaway is for United States residents only. This runs in July and August. Good luck. Thanks for entering. Now what's nice is you don't actually have to remove the bolts on the drive shaft. It'll just pull out. We'll just have to slide it back in later, obviously, but that allows me room to pull the whole thing out, which is new to me. Removing axles, sort of, to install coilovers is completely new to me. Not a fan, to be honest. But something that is cool is I read about the spinning of the spring. So you take the spring off the hat, you spin it down, and that shortens all this up, so it's much easier to get it out of the fender without scratching it. I don't want to scratch up my nice fresh paint job, that's for sure. Hey, look at that. That was not hard at all. Not too bad, boys. Now, I had been getting some noise in the front suspension, and I'm guessing this old top hat had something to do with it. I'm hardly applying any pressure. You can see that bushing is completely shot. So, replacing all this was definitely needed. Size matters, something that we've all heard before. And it is true, especially when it comes to law firms. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm with over 800 attorneys operating in 49 states. Plus their fee is free. Yeah, I said it, free. There's no upfront costs, sign-up fees, If you don't win your case, you pay absolutely nothing. Morgan & Morgan have recovered over $15 billion for their clients. If you'd like to start a claim with the largest injury law firm, you can do so in 8 clicks or less. It's extremely easy. You can start your claim with Morgan & Morgan at forthepeople.com/Matt Ross, or by using your phone and dialing pound 529. Couldn't be any easier. Something I forgot about. Obviously, I gotta put my new top hat on here. I also got new bearings, but I'm not exactly sure where these go. I gotta figure that out. Not a clue. Okay, I think I got this out. I got thrust bearings, and I didn't need thrust bearings because the thrust bearings are on the KW coilovers at the bottom. So that was a waste of money. Yeet. Ooh. Ah, there we go. Now, I do want to somewhat set the ride height. I read some instructions on that, so let me look that up again and see what I want. Because it'd be nice if I could just get this right off the rip, not have to mess with it later. I read this is supposed to be 1.25 inches, which is where it is, so I'm going to leave it alone and go ahead with the install. Definitely gonna have to clean my greasiness off this because that's gross. That's better. Oh, we're in. Okay. Just gotta get the axle. Mr. Axle. Oh, we're way off. Getting the axle back in place wasn't exactly easy because you're fighting trying to get it lined up perfectly while trying to get the coilover in as well, all without scratching the fender. It's a bit of a process, but doable. And you don't have to remove any bolts for the axle, which makes it nicer. Oh, yes. Yes. Ah, we're in. Holy crap, I'm hot. Axle's in, both tires are spinning. Porsche, why do you use 16 millimeter? Nobody uses 16 for anything. It's just stupid. I think I'm going to skip the front, move on to the rear, that way I know what I'm doing on both sides, and the other side should go pretty well. This was actually easier than I thought and went smoother, so I'm happy. Whew. That's a lot of work. Ouch. I'm going to do the strut hat on the rear. Torque to spec. Finally. Holy spit. I didn't get it on camera, but I got it loose. Or I got it out, I should say. Look at that. That's not too bad. I didn't realize this whole assembly was like all unit. That's odd, for sure. Well, definitely should have installed this first because this is kind of a pain getting in there, but now I know for next time. All right, this side's done and looking fantastic, but you know me, I gotta clean all my nastiness off of those fresh new coilovers, and they look good in there. Big shout out to KW for making awesome coilovers for these cars that are really simple to install and look great. And one thing I'd like to do after getting all the suspension components done is get the car up on the lift outside and pressure wash all the fender wells and all of the suspension components because they're looking pretty crusty right now. Ooh, I still gotta do the sway bar up here. Dum-dum. That obviously can't be left there. I almost forgot. One side done and it went smoother and easier than expected. So, banging out the other side real quick. I don't think it's going to take any long unless I run into some kind of major hassle. Then I'll get it down on the ground, tighten everything up top, and then see what ride height is like. I'm really excited to see how this thing looks not being 4x4 status in the front. The rear was fine, front looked awful. On the driver's side, I really struggled getting that axle back in. It just seemed nothing would line up for me. I'd get the axle close and then the coilover wouldn't be inside the fender. I was so worried about scratching the fender. It was a real hassle. I probably fought with this for about half an hour, and let me tell you, it sucked. Oh, there it is. Holy spit. I'm exhausted. Absolutely exhausted. I finally got the axle in. That was a nightmare. Once the axle's in, the rest is actually really easy and it's really smooth sailing. Just a couple of bolts, sway bar, end link. You got the strut bolts up top. It's really cake. Lay down. All right. Good boy. Stay. Eat.
Are we gonna witness a video shoot here?
Yeah,
oh,
absolutely.
We need a little.
Let's see if this is.
Take one.
This is probably. I have a feeling it's gonna be too low.
There's no such thing.
Oh God.
It looks perfect.
That is way too low.
What are you talking about?
Holy shit! I can't even drive that. I mean, it looks sick, but that's way too low.
I don't agree with you.
The rear's fine, I think.
No way.
The front, that's way too low. Yeah, so the out-of-the-box ride height was too low. It actually looked really, really good. It was actually lower than what it looks here. So while it looked great, it would have taken away from the daily driver ability of this car, so I decided we needed to raise it up a bit. An inch in the front, half an inch in the rear? Yeah.
If you do a full inch, it's going to be a monster truck, I think.
So I thought I had the ride height pretty dialed in. Luckily, it's really easy to adjust on these KW coilovers, so it's time to clean up in the garage a little bit, as usual. And then I lowered the car down and took it outside and realized just in a short amount of time it had settled even more, so it's time to lift the car back up and adjust the coilovers up just a little bit more. I really want to get this thing dialed in before I move on to do all the other suspension mods. Make sure this thing settles and I have the ride height just how I want it before I get everything finished and take it for alignment. I've got the final ride height set. I think I'm going to get it out of the garage, show you guys, and then I actually have to go for a drive and see how these coilovers ride. I'm guessing it's going to be pretty darn good. Of course, my truck is in the way. Just another problem with this house and this driveway and this small garage, just constantly no room for anything. Time to check it out. I think the ride height is darn near perfect. Now, I'm gonna have to wait till I get the rest of the suspension installed, get the camber about how it should be, and go from there. I think the rear needs some spacers, but the wheels may be changing sooner rather than later, but it's time for a drive. First drive in a Porsche that's not 4x4 status and has some fresh suspension components on it. I am excited, especially because I've never had coilovers anywhere near this nice. Right off the bat, in about the first 50 feet, I can tell you that these don't ride like cheap coilovers. That's for sure. Wow. I can already tell. This is darn good. Oh, man. Oh, man. This ride's so nice. Wow, this is hard to describe. It's like stock softness, but at the same time, with better cornering. Oh yeah, these KWs are freaking phenomenal. Obviously, it's really hard to explain to you guys how nice these coilovers are, but they exceeded my expectations by far. I was not expecting them to ride as nice as what they did. Couldn't be happier with them. They're awesome. This thing truly rides like a dream. KW, you guys make great stuff. I was not expecting it to ride this nice. It's still really, really enjoyable, which I didn't want to have ruined on the car. I didn't want it to ride super stiff, super harsh, bunch of noise, vibration, harshness. That's one of the reasons I went with basically stock strut hats, is I wanted to maintain a nice driver's car, but with some upgraded stance, not 4x4 status, upgraded handling. This has checked every single box. And this is only a super short drive. I don't want to drive it too much because my alignment is, I'm certain, pretty out of whack. And I don't want to destroy my tires because they are new. This thing just rides incredibly. Huge shout out to Redline, huge shout out to KW Coilovers. This thing is amazing. Wait till the next episode where I install a ton more suspension parts and get this thing even more dialed. It's gonna ride like a dream.